towards Front Street. There she was, a little angel, the girl that I met a couple of hours ago. She said it was home will keep her. Said she'll meet me there when the tide is low. I guess I'll see her in Bahia, on the beach at O'Keefe, underneath the pale moonlight. Girl, hold her on so tight, on the beach at O'Keefe. Will I see her in Bahia, on the beach at O'Keefe?
Aloha and blessings, everyone. Aloha and blessings. Welcome in to Outlaws After Dark. I am Beastman from Ocean Man Productions. Hope y'all doing fine this evening. Let's get these intros out of the way so we can get into it. Mr. Spider, how you doing, sir?
What's up? Good to be back for the next prequel. It'll be fun to talk about. Great having Darth and Colhauser back with us.
Yeah. Miss Donna Doc, what you got, sis?
Oh, well, yet another prequel that it was my first time seeing. I actually really enjoyed this movie. So, look, Spider's head shot up. Yeah, this was my first time seeing it. So, I did enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what they say about it.
Yeah. Mr. Darth Jaeger, how you doing, brother?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on again. Looking forward to talking a little Star Wars, a little Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. And the man himself, the Canadian Colossus. How you doing, Colhauser, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the invite again. Glad to be back to, deal with talk some prequels.
Yeah. We got a chat to run, Mr. Spider.
Yeah, we got JJ Morton's jumping in. Hello.
Yeah.
Maintain Rage all the way from down under. Hello. MGC William. Hello. Thank you for coming in. The Lorax himself, Mr. Graham Robbins, and everybody else who rolls in. We'll give you a shout out and say hello.
All right. So prequels, man. We're doing Attack of the Clones today. Like always, make it known. I'm a normie to this stuff. I mean, I liked it. I was there when it came out. Prequels were my Star Wars movies. On the come up, they were everywhere. And I really liked this one. Got to see my man Giotto bust it down, bro. That's right. Little OG. So, yeah, this is one of my favorites. Get to see Jake DeMuss playing Django. And that, just stuff, rewatching it, right? And just stuff coming back. Like, oh man, I remember this, and just remembering times, moment in time when watching it back again, and I was like, oh man. Yep. So that's my whole normie take. Really like this one. Obviously Yoda's my favorite part. Kicking ass. Kind of go wrong with Sir Christopher Lee. I mean, always a great performance from him. And yeah. So I guess we'll do overall thoughts first, and we can kind of bite off each other and go into little things like what we usually do. Let's start with our guest, Mr. Colhauser. Overall thoughts, sir?
Overall thoughts. I know there's a lot of debate over Attack of the Clones, because of the dialogue and everything, but I didn't see any problems with that. It's a movie that I've watched numerous times over and over again. It's funny because when I was down in Florida, because I went out, me and Ryan went out quite a bit, just hanging out and stuff. And we talked about how, because he even says he's watched this movie he believes more than anybody, because it's a movie that he grew up with and he loved Attack of the Clones. So when I remember I first saw it, I loved it. I enjoyed it. Just finally figuring out who the clones were from the OG, from Star Wars, from Obi-Wan mentioning it. Well, Princess Leia mentioning it to him. You served my father in the Clone Wars, so you're finally getting that aspect of who the clones were. And I thought Tamia Morrison was the perfect pick to play Jango and the clones. You got more insight of what was happening behind the scenes and the why with the separatists doing what they were doing, the battle for the Republic. So they did a lot of in-depth thinking and how they were going to portray this movie, and I thought it went well. I thought it was a perfect lead from Phantom Menace, and then a perfect lead in to the to Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, I love this movie. Always have. I was never one of those skeptics to say, well, you always hear it. Well, I don't like sand. Those parts didn't bother me. I think when you go back and you look at the trash sequels now, are you really gonna pick, I don't like sand over that terrible Canto Bite scene? So, in every aspect of the sequel trilogy is just horrible. So I thought anyone who stands and says, oh, well, listen to the bad dialogue. There was no dialogue in the sequel trilogy. So yeah. That's
I bypassed the compressor, Cole.
Yeah.
That was great dialogue, my guy.
But it's funny too. Even when you say that, the fact that they got Natalie Portman to basically play a badass in her role, fighting, taking the perspective of going at it. Whereas, we don't. It's funny because they had to make a strong female in Rogue One, and they had to make Daisy Ridley a strong person. Did they forget what Natalie Portman did? Did they forget what she was about and how strong she was as a female? She took basically after, they basically gave her an arc from her daughter, Leia, from what she had to do. So I just think the sequels failed miserably.
Miserably. All right, Mr. Darth Jaeger, your overall thoughts, sir?
Overall thoughts, yeah. I remember seeing this, back in the theater, back in the day. I kind of enjoyed it because I was kind of at that point feeling a little disappointed with the Phantom Menace and what went on with that. Even though looking back on it now, I think these prequel movies have gotten better with age. Or maybe I've just loosened up a little bit in my thoughts about them, right? But I always enjoyed Attack of the Clones. There was a few, some of the romance stuff was a bit clunky, but it never really bothered me like it bothered some people, I think. And the sand thing, I never thought about it until people started using it as a meme, sand, it's rough and it's coarse and gets everywhere. I never thought about it really. And one of the things I always joke with my friends about this one is they call it Attack of the Clones. The clones don't even attack until the third act. What were they doing the whole rest of the time? But yeah, I mean, as Colhauser and what you Beast said, Tamara Morrison, come on, he can't be beat. Well, Jake the Muss from Once Were
Jake the
Warriors,
Muss.
you know.
Yeah, if I could just point out, Darth, like, you know, you know, you know, I guess they had to kind of push the romance in there to get it going because they couldn't do it. Well, they couldn't do it in the first one.
No,
because they were just way too young. Well, he was way too young, but
yeah,
I sort of get why they had to push, you know, because at the end of the day, you could have made this, and as I mentioned before with I think we talked about Empire Strikes Back. You could have made literally 2 movies out of this. You could have made, even though Attack of the Clones is like what 2 hours and some odd minutes, like you could have made another movie before this and after this. So and that's why I guess where the Tarnowski series comes in perfectly. It gives you a bit more, but you could have got more. That's why the 4, 5, and 6 worked. 1, 2, and 3 do work, but you needed almost like a 1A, 2,
1.5 or something.
Right, you know, you could have added so much more because there's so much you could have put in.
Well, think about how disappointed people would have been if they just did that romance thing off screen. If they just came back into the second movie and suddenly they're just together, right?
Yeah.
You know, would people be going, well, how'd that happen?
And you could have did another movie from Django's perspective too. Like he could have had a whole thing just from his side of it and whatnot. I'll say this about the romance scenes, and this could just be like me watching it later. But what I picked out most on my rewatch was that you saw a lot of the little moments of Anakin turning during the romance scenes. Like if you watch it well, there's a lot of hints to him starting to go to that dark side, right? And then not just the meme, you know, like when they're sitting in the field, that part, but like a lot of the moments when it's just them two, the romance aspect of it. You listen to how he behaves and his dialogue and stuff, and there's a lot of little hints to him turning bad, like to him breaking bad. That's what I got from it anyway. So I mean, yeah, people complain about it. I guess you can, but nah.
Well,
Mr. Oh, go for it.
Oh, no, go because no, go ahead, because I think Spider didn't get in yet. So
I know we're over. My bad. All right, Mr. Spider, overall thoughts, sir?
All right. So as a 12, 13-year-old boy seeing this when it came out, it was the coolest thing. Growing up after that in the teen years, it was cringy. To Cole's point, when the sequels came out, you know, it's like, maybe this isn't that bad. This is still my least favorite of the prequels. I do love the arena battle, the battle for Geonosis, Natalie Portman's midriff, especially as a 13-year-old kid. All that hormone, testosterone going. Too much CGI. That line with the sand, even when I saw it in theaters, I didn't like it as a kid, and I still like that. It just doesn't. It's like saying it's a coarse line. I don't know. Sorry for the joke about it. I just can't get I'm one of those people. But it's gotten better over time because of what we got with the sequels. You get to see the vision better. You see Anakin doing his little tweaks here and there. I think this may have been Hayden Christensen's first movie, so he wasn't that great of an actor, but he made up for it in the next one. Obi-Wan, what's his name? Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, all the veterans were fantastic. And seeing Yoda kick ass, and you can't beat Sir Christopher Lee in anything he does. He's just fantastic. That's my general overall.
Yeah. But you know what? I looked at it like this because I can't remember who I was talking to, But I remember, what happens when you go to the beach? You get sand in your, you got sand. You're trying to wash it all off, and then because I know this happened when I was in Orlando. Because when we went to the where did we go? We went to Crystal Beach, and I remember there was sand everywhere. So you kind of think about it, have we all been in that predicament?
Mhm.
I know I have, and
Yeah.
I do want to say I had a ton of the Legos from this when it came out. So I had the ATTE, I had the Republic, I forget the name of it, the gunship, a lot of the droids that they built, and I was really into that whole thing, especially the battle-like stuff. So I have a lot of love for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't confirm the sand stuff, bro. The sand stuff it's pretty wild, man. Sex on a beach is not all it's cracked up to be, y'all.
Unless you're having a drink.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously. Donna Dot, what's up, sis? What's up with you? Overall thoughts?
Well, to a couple of the points as a newbie, I do believe this was like one of the first movies to be done fully digital, and it did have a lot of CGI. It was very CGI heavy, especially Yoda's battle with Dooku but I mean, I still enjoyed it. And to the Beast point with the romance, what I saw from it was the paradox of attachment that Anakin was going through, because he was struggling heavily with the Jedi doctrine of non-attachment. So do you think that his inability to cope with his loss of drive, did that fuel part of his descent into the dark side? That's part of what you see with his attachment to her. So at least that's what I got out of it as a normie. The duty versus love thing. Also, the things like I don't know how to put it, the clone mystery as a normie. You have the ethical compromise of the Jedi, because the clone army, they brought in the broader theme of Republic sacrificing democratic ideals for the sake of security. Do you feel that that's what they did?
If you go back, I was just gonna say, if you go into the EU, you'll get more dialogue in why they did what they did, because they were, from the perspective is they kind of knew that there was things happening within the Galactic Senate, just like almost every government we know of, there was always a plan to just say, hey, listen, just in case things start falling apart, we need a plan B to make sure this thing doesn't go haywire. So I kind of understood why they did what they did, and to have that backup, and even though it's for ulterior motives, things could have went screwy where you just said, hey, if we didn't have these clones, where would we be?
Yeah.
So there's a lot in the EU books that details a lot more, because we've been when we've been doing our We Love the Prequel streams, we actually went back and watched some of the EU videos that they're putting out there with Count Dooku and with Jango Fett, and why he got hired on and how everything went down, what the plan was for these clone troopers. So.
Okay. Beast, your turn.
He's on mute. There was one thing I did want to bring up. So I know you meant, so it wasn't actually fully digitalized, because so they did a re-release of the Attack of the Clones in IMAX, and I remember my brother, his friends, a couple of my friends, we said, okay, let's go watch it. So we went to go watch it in IMAX. And we watched it, we all looked at each other like, this movie wasn't long. Did this seem short to you? And there was so much footage they had to cut because they were only able to digitalize so much for IMAX.
Oh, because
And-
when I read about the movie, they said it was fully digital. So I guess that was probably just incorrect information then.
Yeah,
They shot this movie on an early Sony digital camera. I think it was like Cinalta
Oh.
F900 or something like that. And
So
what
they
Colhauser's
couldn't
talking about
afford
with
it.
yeah, with the technology at the time, they could only get so much on the reel for the IMAX scenes or the IMAX theaters, right? So they would go digital, and then they would switch it over to film for some of these releases. So yeah, there was a weird shortened version on IMAX, and yeah, like where I am right now, we didn't get a digital theater till after 2002. So we saw the analog version, which is got a couple of slight differences in it as well. Like at the end with the wedding, it's like Anakin's mechanical hand is just sort of hanging beside him in the shots, where in the digital version, the version that we've all seen on video since then, they're both holding hands, you know, and little things like that. I can't rightly remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when we because the movie was only like an hour and a half, and we're just like, wait a minute, why is this movie so short? It's a lot longer. It should have been over 2 hours and 20 minutes. And then we found out, because of the digital process of IMAX, they had to cut so much out. So, you're kind of ticked off because, you want to get the IMAX experience. But that was back then, right? I think we saw that in, I want to say 2010 or 2011, around there.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I'm trying to bring up stuff.
I'm back. What's up, yo? Sorry, they are cleaning outside.
Okay.
Whacking in. So, my bad.
Sorry, no, it's okay. So I just looked it up here. About 23 minutes, 20 to 23 minutes was cut from the original to fit in the IMAX technology. So
wow.
So they said because IMAX platter sizes and projection technology can only support roughly 2-hour films at the time, this release was trimmed approximately 22 to 23 minutes. The aspect ratio of the footage was cropped and reformatted to 1.85 from its original 2.35 to fill more of the giant vertical IMAX screens. So we were kind of disappointed. Yeah, that was November 1st, 2002. So I remember it was back then, but
fair enough.
Yeah.
So I guess I started collecting a lot of Lego back then too, because that was right around the time, around the Phantom Menace, around the prequel era, that they started coming out with Star Wars kits. Before that, there really wasn't anything like that. And I mean, they might have come up with stuff for the special editions, but when Lego got that license, I was just, finally Star Wars Lego. And I really enjoyed that. I got and Obi-Wan's fighter jet and everything, and I really enjoyed those kits. And I've spent a lot of money on Lego since then, and I blame Attack of the Clones for that mostly.
They had them for Phantom Menace, and then there was only a certain amount, and then they ramped it up for what I remember for Attack of the Clones. They had everything.
Sure.
Well, that was Hasbro, because Hasbro had to keep up with demand for, listen, Hasbro, when they bought Canada, they knew what they were doing. I don't think they're too happy right now with what, with the slop they got to produce. But I remember, I don't know, Darth, you remember those god-awful Star Wars Transformers?
Oh, those are terrible. Oh. So terrible.
Yeah,
don't
that
know
was
what
around
they're
the Attack of the Clone days.
like this idea to try to I understand you want to merge stuff once in a while and make, oh, look at this, it's a crossover, but the idea is that, oh, this is Darth Vader's TIE fighter that turns into robot Darth Vader. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
What does this
Steve,
even what does
okay.
this even mean? Never
I
got
found
any
one.
of
I'm trying to
those.
open it.
Either did I. I saw them, but I was like, nah.
Yeah. The human characters turning into robot versions of themselves. I think it was same with Obi-Wan's fighter or something. Turned into a robot Obi-Wan. Come on. That's right. It's me, Hey Two here. Some crossover should never happen. Absolutely.
What the hell is that?
So basically,
That's the Star Wars
Darth Vader is
Transformer.
a Death Star.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it turns into the Death Star.
That's even worse.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
I've never seen this. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Is that actually worth anything nowadays, Colhauser?
Maybe one sealed in the box that maybe is worth maybe like $50, but that's about it.
Yeah, when this came out, it probably would have been about $30 in 2007. So
yeah, well, go back, Spider. Yeah, they had a no, sorry, scroll up or scroll down. Stop right there. The Darth Maul.
Yeah.
$10.99.
Okay, no, okay, I can't remember. I was just looking because I think they had a Darth Maul one, right? Too. I can't remember. They had a whole bunch of.
They have some over here.
I remember there was a Millennium Falcon that turned into robot Han Solo and robot Chewbacca as well.
Yeah. See, rare. Look, it says rare. $59. So that tells you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the TIE Fighter one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I said $50. It's like.
Oh, so I see.
Yeah, I mean that would
be like a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't remember that one either.
Yeah, look, he shoots 2 lightsabers when he's in fighter mode. Oh my goodness!
And wasn't Luke turned into an X-wing?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yes, in his X-wing pilot outfit.
That's an interesting conversion.
It's
trying to find more. A lot of the Death Star.
Yeah, Darth Vader turning into Unicron.
Yeah. Yeah, this was like Attack of the Clone days.
Yeah, there's Darth.
Oh, there is Darth Maul.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't even know who that is.
What is that? Like the Emperor turns into his own shuttle?
Yeah, looks like it.
That looks like a B-wing down. I guess it's a B-wing. I don't even know. That's the Jedi Starfighter, or one of Slave One. A droid. Grievous.
Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had one for him too.
Also, he'd be on his bike, whatever that is.
Yeah, just glad those days are long gone, never to be thought of again.
All for $125.
No, thank you. I'd rather buy sand.
I'd rather.
I tell you what though, with some of the toys, I wish I had a collector's mind, bro. I had a kid player's mind, bro. I used to play with a lot of the shit that I wish I kept like more intact and in the box and stuff. But yeah.
It's not Beast, it's not easy. Because listen, for me, picking that stuff up, getting at all those toys back in 84, 85, 86, and keeping the box, it's one of those things where you say, do I destroy this thing or do I keep it and think it's going to be worth something? I didn't think it was going to be worth anything. The boxes were just always cool.
The
So
box art was tremendous in those days. It's really heads and tails above what
Amen,
you see
brother.
now.
yeah,
That's half the sell.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's something Transformers got right, you know. And you remember, see, Star Wars. You got to remember too. Star Wars was huge, back in the 79, 80. And it wasn't until 1982 when G.I. Joe came out and basically knocked it off its throne, because now you got military stuff. But when Hasbro bought Kenner and they came into for the Phantom Menace Attack of the Clones, they said, you know what? I think we got it. Because remember, it was all hype. It was all hype when George Lucas was releasing the prequel trilogy. And not only for toys, you know, you say what you want about those bad Transformers, but you got so much hype for everything that came out. You know, you got the cups, you got the merchandising, you got the shirts, you got everything that
The
you can
cereal,
think
the
of.
sodas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you agree with this? The only good execution of this idea was the Micro Machine Star Wars toys, where Vader's head or 3POs or Trent R2s into the Death Star, Cantina, Tatooine, Jabba's Palace, respectively.
Those were
Yeah,
fun
the
little
micro
sets, for
machines were
sure.
cool.
Fun sets. I really enjoyed playing. They all came with tiny little figures or little ships or something, and yeah, the whole idea that you can just open that up and you've got a play set, and then you store it, you close everything up, and it just goes on the shelf and looks cool. Man, that was real clever of them.
Yeah.
I had the Mighty Max ones.
Oh, Mighty Max. I remember Mighty Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know, for like I said, for me, for whatever faults people can, you know, I generally like Attack of the Clones from start to end. It was just one of those things where it was just it was a movie about fantasy where it just literally took you where you actually felt where you actually felt you're in another galaxy, and they made that work in that movie. Whereas, you know, the sequels didn't make you feel like, you know, they didn't make you feel anything. But Attack, you know, seeing the clones for the first time, I was like in awe. Seeing, you know, you got so many of them, and you know, you got these pre-date clone outfits. I thought you couldn't make something better. You just couldn't.
John Williams' score for the clones as well. It's
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's at the top of his game. Then, of course, you've got the March of the Clones. It's just the moment. It just it gives me the goose pimples just thinking about that part and that theme playing. I mean, it's
You know what?
it's
I
really
love
interesting.
I love the love theme across the stars that he did for it.
Oh, that's good too.
That was
Yeah,
just smooth.
like
Yeah.
the whole soundtrack album is terrific. Some of his best work, I say.
And you know what too? Even with this scene here, you got a better introduction of clones than Force Awakens got with their new stormtroopers. Like I just thought that was pretty horrific. They just did not do a good job. But for here, like, you know, setting up. First, you're seeing the chamber. You're seeing the incubators, and then you go over to the kids sitting there. Then you go over to the clones,
the dinner table scene, right?
Yeah, the table, and then you go over to them all lining up to grab their helmets and everything. Like that was a perfect way to introduce, you know, the clones into this. You know, I thought, you know. I thought they the storytelling and how they got up to this was perfect, and the fact that the storytelling where, you know, basically Obi-Wan had to basically do some detective work to find out, you know, where this place is. I kind of like that aspect of it.
Master
Absolutely.
Sifo Dyas died almost 10 years ago.
Well, George, say what you will about George, but he knew how to tell the story. He knew the story he wanted to
Mhm.
tell across these 3 films, right? You know, Phantom Menace, Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. And you know, he planned it all out. That, you know, that thing that Disney doesn't do? Well, George did that. He sort of
Mhm.
wrote out in sort of what he wanted to do, where he wanted the characters to be at the end of the first one, the end of the second, and at the end of the third one was obviously where we all knew where the characters end up there. But I mean,
See, and this is why I get so pissed off with the Disney, because you get you know, Ewan McGregor was fantastic in the prequels. I thought he did a perfect, you know, Obi-Wan. Like, you couldn't find another person to do Obi-Wan than Ewan McGregor. I think he was just born for that role. You know, and the fact that they were gonna make a series about Obi-Wan and they totally effed it up royally.
hello there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't get a better person to play this role.
No, he just sort of
Now,
embodied Alec
maybe in
Guinness there.
yeah. Now, for sure, you know, when they do reboot this, will they bring him back? Maybe, but yeah, I thought he was perfect in this.
Mhm. So Graham Robbins in chat says, let's not gloss over Natalie Portman's outfit for dinner. Boy, howdy, the Dommy Mommy looked deaf. Got a thumbs up from most lads.
We'll get there.
She wears that
Yeah,
outfit to
listen,
dinner and then tells
Natalie
Anakin,
Portman can
"Yeah,
get
we
it.
can't be together. Oh, you know, I know I dress like this for dinner, but no, we can't be together. Come on."
Get his dick
You know what
sitting
you were
up,
doing when
making
you put
dents
that
in the
outfit on.
table.
Well, at least Hayden got to do what no one else probably did, is he got the cup of feel.
Hey, you know what? I don't fault you on that.
Yeah. So
What is it?
but yeah, I like I said, I don't see I never saw any negative effects of this movie from start to finish. I just saw the more and more I watched, the more and more I got interested in following this story. This is why, I've told Ryan this many times. I said, yeah, I watch Attack of the Clones all the time. I love watching Attack of the Clones because I think the storyline just there's almost like almost like 3 different stories in it, but they all work well together for what they're trying to achieve. From going from Coruscant, you know, to Camino, to Tatooine, you know, and then to Geonosis. I think it just works well.
You know what I just learned? Okay, go. I'm sorry.
No, go.
You said Coruscant. I just learned this recently, as a matter of fact, and I always thought it was cool growing up too. But this is the only right after the scroll that the screen pans up into the planet, as opposed to all the other ones where it pans down and it goes up, and then you flip with the ship and everything. I never noticed that, like, because of the scroll, but it is really cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I was just gonna say, like when you when you look at the sequel trilogy, when they brought like planets in, nothing made sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you didn't even know what this planet. Yeah, you didn't even know what these things were, and it was really stupid in Rogue One how every time they went to a planet, they had to put the planet name there, you know, on the screen. And I'm just like, the prequels did a far better job in dealing with the planets than, and Darth said it right. Those writers didn't know what they didn't even know how to think about the writing. So
no, you're right. You don't have to say anything. You just go to the planet. You know you're on Camino, Geonosis.
Yeah.
Whatever. You don't have to tell nowadays you have to tell the audience because they're dumb as fuck. But
yeah, and you got to tell them like 3 times.
Yeah. trying to find it.
That's the whole goldfish mindset bullshit nowadays. Like these fucking. Well, I mean, we talked about it in another show about comedians and respect for their audience and the audience's intelligence. Disney has no respect for their audience intelligence, right? It's two parts, right? So one, they think they're fucking retarded, and two, a lot of the Disney shill people are fucking retarded. So like Cole said, you gotta tell them 3 times because they'll forget within a span of minutes what the fuck is going on. It's ridiculous.
We had that group of shills talking about the sequels on the, I think it was on the Star Wars YouTube channel or something. And that one joker is like, "Oh yeah, remember that time that Anakin destroyed the Death Star and killed all those people?" It's like Anakin didn't destroy the Death Star, dude. What is going on here? Who are these people they're paying to shill for them?
Who are you and how much money are they paying you?
Yeah.
They have no integrity. Not a fucking one of them. If I mean, even being the quote unquote normie and whatever, right? If I had made a mistake like that, or if I had misspoken, or even if I really thought that it was Anakin who destroyed the Death Star, all of one of you, right? Any one of you would have been like, "You mean Luke, right?" You know what I mean? At least that. Like, at least that. Like, and the fuck, don't get me started on fucking the Aussie in the chat and fucking Jackass John. They'd be all over me for that.
Yeah.
But that's because we respect the fucking lore. We respect what the fuck is going on. They have no fucking integrity because not a one of them corrected that motherfucker either. They all just fucking nodded and clapped like good seals.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Yesterday on Real BBC, and this is a perfect example. And I literally, well, Az was dying, Mahler was dying, and then I was dying watching what happened because somebody sent in the chat basically saying it was regarding that Bond video game where and they kind of quoted Newt Gunray is like, "Shoot her" or something, right? And Az kind of said, "Oh, you know, the guy," he was like, "No, that was Boss Nebel on Naboo, the Jungan, the Jungan guy," where Maul corrected him. And then Az goes, "Oh yeah, that guy." And then they kind of mimicked Newt Gunray and Christopher and Count Dooku. And it was funny as hell. Because, you know, and the fact that we're talking to Attack of the Clones, they were basically doing, you know, Attack of the Clones. It was so funny yesterday. Like I literally had to clip it, and I was just like, and I remember I sent it to a couple of guys. I said, "You got to watch this. This is just so." It was just so funny.
Can you pull it up? Do you have it available?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the comedy, I think this movie, the comedy bits hit well. I genuinely laugh when they, you know, the 3PO thing, when it's all going to shit.
3PO.
And Newt Gunray, when he's like snickering in the corner, he just turns back to the crowd, stuff. I love that kind of stuff.
3PO died, Jedi dogs.
Hey, excuse me, I'm trapped. Can anybody help? Yo, bros.
Let me see here. I'll just put in the private chat.
All right, I will bring that up. I remove that.
And you know, Dexter,
I lost it on.
Oh yeah.
I lost it on the 3PO part. That part made me fucking laugh out loud, bro.
You got it,
And then
Spider?
R2D2.
Yep.
R2D2 being a real G, rolling up and just yanking his head off, pulling him away.
Yeah.
R2's a real G, bro. I'm on that, bro. I'm on that. I'm on that train, man.
So
it's the whole thing.
No, just go to 204:57.
204.
57. It was funny.
204. Oh no.
Just the way Mahler imitated Count Dooku. That's hilarious.
All right, I'm just gonna start it for 204 because it's hard to
Yeah, that's fine.
Bring this over here.
Those two, when they're left by themselves, they get into so much trouble.
The infamous Slurpo edition of last year.
Oh, dude.
Zaz, don't worry about Gary in Japan. Garrett may be quarter black, but you have the real BBC.
Oh my.
Boobies. Got him. Got him. Mexi Rage with a $5 says, again, all James Cox has to do is first make a Superman movie that is great and a Batman movie and then a Wonder Woman movie. But no, James wants his stuff. Yeah, he just wants, I just want things I like. I like this. No, you don't. You don't. That's all. 20 Bronk with a $10 says, but as we live vicariously through your misery. Exactly.
Yay.
Gumadali with a 50 Norwegian says, talking about the Bond game before finishing it, you can't do that. Shoot them or something. Angry Newt Gunray noises.
No, that's Boss Nass. He's talking about when it's Attack of the Clones.
What are you going to do?
You can't do that.
You
Go, finish her off. Shoot her. It's like, patience, Viceroy, patience. She will die.
Ooh. Joe Danger
Christopher Lee
with a $2. Bond vaulting equals Outlaws long grass. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that video. Cuban with a $2 says stream
that's
everything. Or
That's about it, yeah. Shout out Azim Molly, Real BBC, bro.
Shout out Real BBC. Yeah, that was pretty good. Not as great as the Schlurpo incident.
Yeah, it was just a funny part when I heard yesterday. So it was kind of funny. Just patience waits where she will die, and just listen. A lot of memes came out of Attack of the Clones, but they're great though. They work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, we actually Beast. You came up when me and Az were talking one day. You came up in conversation.
Oh yeah,
because he was trying to figure out what time it was over in Hawaii, and no, it was on his stream, and I messaged him and I said they're like 6 hours from us, and he says, "Oh, okay," because he was wondering what time it was in Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm almost 12 hours, I believe, from Asdem.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's like when we do morning shows, like when we gotta schedule UK people, we have a few UK friends. Shout out Pigeon Lady and No Name. We do it, so it's like 8, 9 in the morning for me. It's like 9, 10 o'clock at night for them. So it's roughly 11 to 13 hours, something. It's weird, but yeah, it's like half a day. Yeah, I came up a couple of times. I see them. One time they were talking about the Maui fires, and I came up too. Gary cracks me up. He's like, "Yeah, I don't think you'd like us." And Az is like, "What?" He's like, "They don't like howlies over there." It's cracking me up. Yeah, man, I love Az, bro. I really do. Oh boy got me through some stuff, and yeah, I always respect him for that.
Yeah, we're chatting today because we're just going over a couple of things. We got some fun stuff coming down the pipeline.
All right.
Well, if we ever have Az on, then I guess we'll have to pump the beast full of caffeine or something so he's on the stream.
So, Donna, as the person who's seen this for the first time, what would you say your favorite part of this film was?
I really liked the immersion of most of it. I liked Yoda's battle, even though it was so CGI heavy. It was well done for the time. I did like the immersion of when they rolled out all of the clones, because you just stared at this massive army and you were just like, oh, holy shit, you know. So it did give you the scope of just exactly what was getting ready to come down the pike with all those clones. So that was probably some of the best parts.
Yeah, it's interesting, like, because as a person that is old as I am, that saw all these movies in the theater when I was a kid, I remember me and a buddy of mine sitting down with our Star Wars figures, you know, one day thinking, oh, geez, what was this whole clones thing they're talking about? What do you think that was? And, you know, imagining it, it was all in our minds that was some kind of clone army that invaded the universe back then, and the Jedi had to fight them off or something. It was always something like that. And of course, you know, finding out in 2002 that I was just completely wrong. It wasn't that at all. It was just sort of, oh, wow. I don't know.
I was in the same boat as you.
Very well. Yeah. You know, I remember reading I remember I was reading some of the EU stuff, and where they said it was they dropped, so on the Battle of Geonosis, that battle, they dropped 192,000 clones.
Yeah,
wow,
something massive
on for that battle, and I'm just like, you know what? If you know, if the Emperor wasn't so stupid and get rid of clones and went with recruitment, you know, the universe would have been a different era.
It seems like they were a lot more competent than a
well,
lot
they were,
you know.
And I know because it's funny, because you have the clone marshals, Commander Cody, Guy, Frodo, there's a whole bunch of the clone marshal generals, but you know, the funny thing is they were still into the fight too, like Cody, you know, because you think about it too, in Revenge of the Sith, who's the first person the Emperor calls? It's Cody, right? And then you look at that's why I did not like the Clone Wars series, because because the Clone Wars were basically, you know, the pilots and everything were on their ships. They were basically replaced by regular humans, right? So I always thought the Clone War arc, and I'll say this to the end, if you had Commander Cody and his 212th squad on Endor, that battle would have been completely different. You know, that battle would be completely different, because the one thing you watch about clones, they don't retreat. They go in and they fight to the death.
And that's why they were white.
Yeah, as Obi-Wan said, they're doing their job so we can do ours. That's what the clones are there for. And they don't chicken out. They go and they go hard. And there was actually some scenes in the deleted scenes where they showed they were showing how they in this battle they dropped off special forces like further on down, where like they weren't even seen, they were just dropped in. And that's where the whole Clone Commandos video game came from, you know.
Yeah, that fantastic game that always gets swept under the rug.
Yeah,
that's a great game. Also, the Jango Fett Bounty Hunter game is fantastic. One of the best games.
I've heard that. I never played it.
PS2 game, I think, if I remember.
Yeah,
yeah, that's one you got to play if you like Jango Fett and and Tamara Morse and all that stuff.
Speaking of, do you want to go into Jango?
Yeah, you know what? You couldn't get another person to play, you know, Jango or the clones than Tamir Morrison. Like, I thought he was just it's funny because I remember after watching this and watching Once Were Warriors, I went back and I watched a whole bunch of his movies. So it's funny because he was actually in Barbed Wire with Pamela Anderson. And then and there was that one movie where there's that meme out there where it was some movie with Harrison Ford, and the meme is even in this galaxy he can't escape Boba Fett.
Oh, that's right. It was Harrison Ford and what's her name? And they crashed on an island, and he had
was that Meg
Oh,
Ryan?
6 days and 7 nights.
6 days and 7 nights. Yeah.
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 And Tim
With
Morrison
Anne
was one of the
Heche.
bad guys. Yeah, Anne Heche. Yes.
Yeah.
That is the name. It's escaping
Sorry,
me.
it's a chick flick.
Like in this movie, I like the face off between Obi-Wan and Django when he first meets this one. Yeah. When they're talking, and it's kind of like it's a battle. It's what it is. Like the weight of the moment and them kind of sparring back and forth verbally, obviously. You know what I mean? And just that whole, like, how to do a fucking scene with weight. You know what I mean? Like it was a fucking clinic, bro. And the two of them just kind of, it was a great scene. Like older me, right, watching it with older eyes, let's say, this is probably one of my favorite scenes from the movie. Yeah, younger me, always the Yoda fight. Fucking love Yoda. Him and fucking Christopher Lee going at it. Gotta be like one of my top scenes. But older me, this scene is one of my favorites.
Well, Beast, I gotta send you the link in the YouTube, because there's some good AI where they use him, and it's just fantastic. We watched it on our Star Wars stream one day, and it was off the hook. It had him there training the clone commanders and stuff like that, and the clones. I think, to me, same thing. I was so disappointed with the Book of Boba Fett, because Tamir Morrison is such a great actor, and he could have did so much, and it was wasted. It was completely
I think
wasted.
I only watched like 2 episodes of that.
Yeah, that series is time I'll never get back.
Yeah.
It's like they forgot what they were writing halfway through as well, because he gets out of the pit, the Sarlacc pit, which we all knew. Those of us that enjoyed the EU, that Boba Fett would never get stuck in there forever. But he gets out of there, and then he's like, he gets stripped of his armor, and then he goes, and he knows where it is because somebody else has it. But then he goes back. He says, "I'm looking for my armor." Well, no, you're not. You just learned, like in the previous episode, somebody else had it. Why are you looking for it here now? It's just
and this is what
said about that show.
Yeah, and Darth too. This was the workings back then. I remember they were talking about this before the Mando show. It's supposed to be the Jango Fett show. And why?
I mean, there was a really good comic series about Jango Fett and growing up.
Yeah.
And, becoming a foundling and then a Mandalorian. And I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff to be mined in the previous EU, which to be honest, I only consider that really more canon than the Disney stuff these days.
And the one thing I was ticked off with Battlefront 2, the OG, because they had Tamir Morrison's voice in the original Battlefront, but they removed it from the second one. I was kind of a little ticked off with that.
Really? I thought. Wait. No, wasn't he the voice in the second one?
In certain parts, but when you're playing like as a ground soldier, the voice is off.
The narration is him for sure.
Yeah, the narration's him.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to download and play it.
Yeah, I played it the other day.
And there was some deleted stuff that they took out of this too, where what's his name beheads him. There's like more to a fight with Django and Mace Windu too. That was taken out. Where there's more deflection and stuff like that.
Well, George explains it as like when he got hit by the Ronto, it made his backpack malfunction, right?
Right.
And I think for the home video release, he added in a couple of digital sparks and things on the backpack just to sort of make that more clear, since they cut out a couple of the extra scenes. So it's why, people say, why didn't you just fly away? He could have escaped. No, he couldn't have. And that's what got him. He's like, caught in a malfunction. What happens now? Oh, too late. Done. If you look really closely, of course, you can see the shadow of the head across the ground flying out of the helmet.
Yeah, it splits both ways, right?
Yeah. So there was one thing I missed when I first saw it in the theater. I missed that little shadow, and then I thought, "Oh, this is going to be terrible." He got a little Boba Dad. He's going to pick up the helmet.
And when you saw this happening, you knew what was going to happen. Find it again.
That whole battle in the pit was fucking awesome, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the arena battle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you see that, I have the DVD of this, because on the DVD, you have, like, on the inserts, you see Django, and there's like all the clones, and then you see all the on the other side, you see all the Jedi. But it was just the way this battle, because there was also a deleted scene of more dialogue between Anakin and Padme before they were brought into the arena. She explaining to him that she loves him and everything, but I you couldn't have gotten more with hundreds of Jedi just getting slaughtered, wiped out. I thought it was a great scene.
Yeah, nobody ever seen it on that caliber to that extent before.
No.
Especially for the first time in the theater, when the first one ignites and then you see the whole arena, everything, all the lights are going on. I mean, even still, from a kid to an adult, that's still one of the coolest things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when they first bring them out, and Obi-Wan's already trussed up out there, and he's just straight busting on him, just giving them the shit. They're all about to die, and he's just giving them shit. Like, what happened? And he's like, we said the stuff like you asked us to, and then we came to rescue you. Oh yeah,
good job.
yeah.
And as mentioning, Padme fighting, doing her battle, I thought that was great. And this is where Disney they won't even recognize it. It's like, hey, they already had a strong female character, in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really do. Like Padme, and it's like, it was a good balance of like leadership, non-physical power. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just the commanding presence, and actual, like, when she does actual stuff, and it's scaled, right? She's not like fucking bodying people, you know what I mean? Not really. It's scaled to her, right? It's tailored to her, and she doesn't have to be fucking bodying dudes 3 times her size to be portrayed as powerful. Like, that's just fucking ridiculous.
She's got her rifle and she's engaging in aggressive negotiation. So what more does she need?
Yeah, but the problem that Disney had is that you have too many strong men in the prequels and in the OGs. So that was the problem. They can't have that.
The idea that Disney's the one that invented the strong female character, that there was no great female characters in Star Wars before this. It's just one of these fallacies that just enrages me every time. And they do it over and over again, and they know that they're pissing people off, but they still keep doing it over and over again. Reva, she's a real strong female character. If you don't like her, then you don't like women, or you don't like black women, or you don't like this, or you don't like. No, I don't like it because she's just a character that for some reason all these women in Disney Star Wars now can survive lightsaber through the guts and through the hearts and through the chest. I bet you if they cut her head off, she would have just come back in the next scene. You know,
don't give me any ideas for a sequel.
Well, you think about Leia in A New Hope. You know, she wasn't afraid to face down Vader. You know, she was strong. She was dominant. It's like, do they even remember how tough she was? You know, would somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way? You know, where you saw how she possessed herself and showing that lead. There's actually a pretty good video somebody did where they basically, you know, they did it for Luke and Anakin, and then they did it for Padme and Princess Leia, where they basically mimicked the different movements, and I think that's what George intended for Luke to act more like Anakin, and Leia to act like Padme. So I thought they did a fantastic job on that.
Well, how many times in this movie did, you know, they were coming after to take her life, and she's like, "Well, I'm not going to hide and cower."
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And she was right, you know.
I think the question is, how many people in the new Disney Writers Guild that wrote the sequels, how many of them even actually watched the prequels or the OG? And I'm guessing probably none.
Yeah.
Fucking Zero is right.
Yeah, and Padme was right too, saying, you know, I think Count Dooku was trying to kill me. She was right, you know. Where everyone scoffed her, you know, scoffed her off, but she was right.
Yeah.
So how can you not?
He was a Jedi Knight. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Not a murderer.
So you just see how the writing was done. It was done where it actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's just the whole shit, like how Darth was saying with Reba and whatnot, like botting fucking lightsabers and that flick a bean or whatever as calls her in fucking Ahsoka. Like botting fucking lightsabers is not a fucking thing, bro. Like it's just not, and it just spits in the face of everything that came before it. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You just gotta be having people fucking. Not only is it fucking lore breaking, which is fucking horrible, but like I said, you're spitting in the face of guys who have fucking fought and died. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we doing? You can't just be botting fucking lightsabers, you fucking clowns.
The only person that's ever died of a lightsaber through the guts is Qui-Gon Jinn, I guess. But you know why? Because he's a white man.
Fucking hell.
And then they bring him back in Obi-Wan
as a ghost. Yeah.
Yep.
I would have. You know what? If I was Liam Neeson, I'd say, "Why you killed me? You didn't kill all the other people. Why should I come back? I'm dead."
Just showing other strong females throughout the movie as photos.
You know what? I know we're going to talk about it later, but yeah, it's sad the way they. Well, I wish they didn't take out the scene in Revenge of the Sith with her.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
All right, we'll get to that. All right, yes, I know what you're talking about, but I defend that decision. And I will say, for all his misgivings, where is it? I guess we'll go with this. George really does know how to map out and direct the bat.
Yeah.
Because this does flow really, I mean, extremely well.
Oh, yeah.
You know you're going from one side to the other. You see the heroics, the downs, the ups and the downs, the trade-offs. This is the other one I was looking for. You're gearing everybody up, the audience going into battle, getting ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
here's
why
the
that's why I
droids and
love
they're-
Galactic Contention. Galactic Contention is a game. It's a modded game that brings back the Clone Wars aspect of it. And I remember I sent it to Ryan and I said, Ryan, have you ever heard of this? And he goes, no. And so he watched the trailer and he was blown away. He was like, I've never seen this before, because they're showing stuff like this that is actually happening. Because I think the Clone Wars arc is the best in my mind.
And I like the inclusion of the super battle droids too,
Yeah.
to like give it one up. And then it got ridiculous with the stupid show with like the ones that are bigger than them. Not the ones that are bigger. They're like, I don't even
the
remember.
AT-AT?
No. They're like kind of rounded, not droidicas, but I don't know. It's stupid. I don't know. It was bad. Filoni, fuck you.
In the Clone Wars series?
Yeah.
It's me, A2 says, I don't think Maul should have been brought back. That gave them leeway to make everyone survive lightsaber wounds.
Agreed.
Yep, that was the first stone that fell
Mhm.
before the avalanche of lightsabers being completely nerfed in the Disney Star Wars movies.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
They take away the significance.
I mean, that was the only time I saw that movie, but wasn't he cut completely in half?
Yeah, absolutely. And then fell
That's
down
a hell of a wound to recover from right there.
fell down a 1 mile shaft.
That's what I
Wow.
thought. Okay.
What about an asshole? How does he use that?
Donna, just go listen to Ryan's take on Darth Maul, and you'll hear an earful.
Oh, I bet. Especially from a true purist like Ryan, I bet.
And the thing with the lightsabers too, about how Disney disrespects it, it's like even Mace Windu, especially in this movie, he's, we're keepers of the peace, not soldiers. Like we don't want to or have to draw lightsabers because of the lethalness behind it and what goes into that whole theology and philosophy of it. And when it comes to Disney, well, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
I don't even think Disney even knows what a lightsaber is.
No.
Yep.
JJ Morton says they got the sabers wrong in the Disney revamps with laser swords.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were talking about or doing with these movies, with these TV shows. And it was the moment where Disney Plus came out and they said, you know what we need? We need Star Wars content. They didn't say we need good stories within the Star Wars universe. They said Star Wars content. And I mean, as someone who does YouTube videos, I consider that basically content. But it's, got a heart. I kind of know what I'm talking about half the time, maybe even more than that. But I have fun doing it. But that's not what this sort of entertainment is supposed to be. If you want to bring something, I mean, people are all old enough to remember when Star Wars was a license for printing money. Like it could do no wrong. Films took a long time to come out, and when they did, there was hype around them. I think Spider was talking about this earlier about how the hype for episode 1, the hype for episode 2, how big these things were. They had had toy releases that would come out, a month in advance. People were like, oh God, this guy's cool. Look at this guy. Oh, and that sort of, speaking of that sort of right there, that shot right there. They came out with the Jango Fett action figure, of course, about a month before the film came out, and it had a magnetically removable head. So it was kind of, spoiler for anybody. This character, he buys it. So,
But
anyway,
I mean, it's not just the content, like you said. It's the content plus the checkboxes. So they came in and basically said, "Okay, we need Star Wars content." Okay, cool. We got this whole wide world that we can use, and all this resources we can tap to make fucking good content. And they're like, "No, no, no, but wait, you have to follow these checkboxes." And here you go. So mix this with that and see what we come up with. And what they came up with is the shit we got. Fucking Boba Fett show and all this other bullshit, fucking sequel trilogies and all that shit. That's what happens.
And the smart thing, everything is regulated too. So if you, for merchandising purposes, they did what the Batman strategy is, where every movie he has to have a new suit. This way, you have to buy the new toys. So if you knew going into this that you had all the Boba Fett stuff, well, think again. You're gonna have to buy the new Boba Fett or Jango Fett because the colors are different. It's the same costume, but it's a different color, so you have to buy into that now. So that whole marketing aspect of the whole thing, it was just an onslaught, and it was perfectly executed, especially with the prequels 1, 2, 3 each year. And in between each year, things were released, so they knew what they were doing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then the same goes from the clones from this to the next one. Well, you're not going to get the same clones. You're getting their new armor.
Yeah, the new costumes. So that what's that? New action figures. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The battle droids. Oh, they're not tan anymore. They are orange in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought a lot of figures because of that.
Exactly.
It's like, oh no, I gotta have these orange ones now for my Attack of the Clones setup.
Well, Graham Robbins says the Jedi are supposed to be like samurai. They do the bidding of the shogun. They aren't for conquering per se.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And you were saying earlier, when he pulls out the lightsaber, when that's supposed to mean something, you pull that out. You don't pull it out unless someone's going to die, right? And it's an elegant weapon from a more civilized age, but hey, this is not for just jacking around and, playing with. This is something, you pull that out, something's going to happen. Right?
It's a police officer with a pistol. They're not whipping it out all the time. If it's coming out, it's going to be, it's for a reason. And that's what they execute perfectly in these the 6 movies. I had that. Where is it? Yeah, this. Like going into this whole lightsaber battle, it meant something. He was inexperienced, and as cool as it was to see him use 2 sabers, you kind of knew what the outcome was going to be. You build on the one, and then the master has to step up, but he's still not good enough because the guy's Dooku, the higher master, is stronger than him, so he's not going to last. So where do you go from there? How does it go? It's stepping stones that they get right, and they told that correctly.
It's
Rage
building
says in
the
a
story.
The lightsaber stopped the cantina dead, and no one cared when Han shot Greedo.
Yeah, exactly.
Pulls that out, chops off Ponda Baba's arm there, and everybody's like, "What the hell? A lightsaber?" Everybody out of the pool, right? Daddy's home.
Yeah, that's. Then how did you all feels about Yoda saber fight aside? How did you feel about the first part of it with Anakin and Obi-Wan?
What do you mean?
The lightsaber battle against Dooku, the duel.
I thought it was fine. Because remember, you got a seasoned veteran. Anakin's just arrogant, and Obi-Wan's just still trying to play his role, and as trying to, because he doesn't have Qui-Gon there anymore. He's not being watched by Yoda. He's just trying to do his thing to keep Anakin out of trouble. So, yeah, I thought that first was fine.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
that whole thing from start to finish for sure. I mean, it's like you were saying earlier, all the different scenes build upon each other, right? So when this every fight is intentional, it's not just there because the script has a lot of fighting, right? Like these modern films. It's just it's building, it's showing you Anakin's progression, right? And at this point he figures he's getting that arrogance about him, right? He figures he can do whatever he wants. Oh, look, I got 2 lightsabers now. I can just do this, and then whoop, there goes an arm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But it shows you the power of Dooku as a Jedi Master and as a Sith Lord now.
Just a quick shout out to Queen Comics Wife, who just rated us.
Oh,
I
awesome.
appreciate that,
Nice.
Queen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mahalo,
see you.
sis.
Sweet.
And it was good to see the reintroduction of lightning, Force lightning.
Yeah. I think the prequel did a great job in reinforcing and bringing back that because the last movie was 1983, and we're just diving into something that we want more of. And then when we got the prequels, I was hyped for it. I loved them, and I will always go back. There's only 1 through 6 in the Taranowski micro series. That's it. There's no other Star Wars.
I love that. series.
Christopher Lee was such a badass. He was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
Yeah, man. Him and Yoda beefing was fucking epic, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
good
just
stuff.
and like just some people have presence, screen presence. And Christopher Lee's presence and his voice and stuff, like when he's on screen, is just so fucking awesome, dude. Like there's just no real words to describe it. Like it's fucking amazing.
You couldn't find a better person than Christopher Lee to play this role, because Christopher Lee is just one of those guys who's just like, he makes, and I it's funny because we had Ryan on our stream. We were talking about this, and Ryan was telling the whole backstory of Count Dooku, how he's from this rich family, and I said to Ryan, I said, I just wish he had more screen time in Revenge of the Sith, because he's just so good at what he does. And like I said, if you go back and you watch some of the AI videos where they brought back and they're talking with some of the EU stuff he's in, it's just fantastic. I've been watching those over and over and over again, because they're just perfect in what he was trying to do, what he was trying to say, in his plight, and why he left the Jedi, and what he was trying to do for his planet and all the independent systems. There was just so much they could have did.
I'd listen to
like that's the guy that should have gave us series to. Sorry, Spider?
Oh no, I was saying I listened to Christopher Lee read a phone book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the second part of that whole Hammer horror crossover with Star Wars too, right? You had Peter Cushing in the first movie, and then Christopher Lee in this movie. So
Now he's a guy that's in 4 major franchises. He's a Bond villain, one of the most famous ones.
Yeah.
He's Count Dooku. He's Saruman. And then the Hammer with Dracula.
Yeah.
Yep.
I even watched a bad movie with him. It was called Starship Invasion. Came out in the late 70s. I don't know if you saw that, Darth. It was a bad, but he is fantastic in it. He's just great. Because he plays an alien with this weird hat on, but the guy's good. The guy knows how to act.
but he still elevates that movie. See?
Yeah. Did you see that? You saw that movie, right, Darth?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, rest in peace to him. He was well-rounded, all-around guy. Knew, was smart, war veteran. cousin to Ian Fleming, fencer, heavy metal artist. He did it all.
Didn't he have his lightsaber reshaped to be more
Yes.
like
Yes.
a fencer's handle? Or I
Because he's
remember
a swordsman.
I don't know if it was Ryan or Asdem were talking about it, but he had it redone.
Yeah, he's a swordsman, so he had it remade. Had it remodeled so he can grasp it like a
sword,
proper sword.
Like a foil, yeah. Again,
did Spider? Can you find a picture of it?
Yeah, I'm looking now.
That's cool.
Trying to get it. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully, yeah, here we go. That's the one. I can't zoom in, but the hilt at the base is bent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's curved.
And that goes into like the EU with his, I think it's Form 2. It's the more traditional or something like that. And that's what he's trained in, which if you compare it, it's like fencing or something like that. With elegance.
It's a lot more one-handed stuff that he's able to do.
And they do that well in the cartoon. I always forget, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the guy who made Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he did like really well, like showcasing that in the cartoon. Like he'll do one stand up straight, like shift over, parry correctly.
Well, it was great it was great him showing, he was teaching General Grievous how to fight with lightsabers.
Mm-hmm. And he essentially didn't go to two hands until in this movie until Yoda came in.
Yeah.
Many pictures.
Yeah, so much. We could have had.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I had this toy. A lightsaber, that is. I definitely had Maul. I had Vader's. I don't think I got this one.
I didn't even know if he came out with a Gentle Giant statue because I would have gotten it because I collect the Star Wars Gentle Giant statues. But yeah, if they made him, I would have got it.
Yeah, and for people who want to know, he's the Count of Sereno, and that's his planet. And he's very rich.
Oh, nice.
CGI Yoda.
Yep, switching from puppet to CGI.
How do you think all that CGI affected the next one to come? The Revenge of the Sith. How do you think it changed that?
I don't think. For me, I thought CGI was fine. I thought it was fine because if you look at the slop they have now, that slop can't even touch the CGI back then.
Lack of talent.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, big time.
I think the only thing that turns out a bit dodgy with this is when they map Christopher Lee's face over his stunt double. It looks a little bit hinky, but apart from that, I think everything holds up really well in this movie. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? I think you're right about when they map the face over the double in this one. But for some reason, I think it works better in this movie when he's fighting as opposed to Revenge of the Sith, where it's clearly the whole thing is CGI.
Yeah, because there's only a couple of shots in this movie with it, right? But there's a lot more of that fight in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely more of that.
Talk about a tragic story. Grievous's story is fantastic.
Oh yeah, but deceived by Sidious and Dooku.
Yeah. George said he was waiting for the technology to catch up as one of the reasons for starting on episode 4. And the battle over Coruscant is one of those that he just could not do in the 70s and 80s.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll get to it in the next one, but the
Mhm.
Wookiee battle, which would have originally been in Return of the Jedi, but didn't have the budget or the means of doing it, ended up in Revenge of the Sith, but we'll get there. There's so much that he couldn't do that he was able to bring to life with all this.
Yeah, the technology was trying to get everything the way you want it to go. Like, listen, he took risks. He went at it, especially for when he did the original. Like, you gotta give him the guts, because he just said, listen, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna do it. And he did it.
Yeah.
And there was basically one FX house doing this shit.
Yeah.
The prequels.
Yeah, and the invention of certain techniques, right, that came out of this, of the original film, right, stuff that was never done before. I said, well, we got to invent a way to do it. These motion control cameras. Okay, we've got a computer the size of a trailer, a small trailer, and that controls this camera as it does this move. Okay, and we can program this move into it, and you couldn't do that before.
And then that's where we got THX, ILM, Skywalker Sound.
If it existed, George wouldn't have to invent it. So,
Yeah. Right. And all those people who put it together, because
exactly
they were trying to. I had the meeting between two titans of acting.
Yeah. I know you didn't pull it up yet, but I do love the meeting with Dooku and the Separatists. I thought that was a pivotal part when Obi-Wan's like sneaking around listening. I really like that scene. And when the one Separatist, I can't remember his name, but this could be treason, because they're thinking about what they're doing, what they're planning, like a lot of stuff. When you look at listen, I've been in politics. I was in politics for a very long time, and when people ask me about politics, I say there's two things you can watch. You can go watch House of Cards, or you can go watch Star Wars. Because Star Wars, for the prequels, I think the politics is fantastic in how they do things, and especially when you have this scene when they're around the round table, they're talking. They're basically saying we're gonna put our battle droids with their battle droids. Newt Gunray is still gunning for Padme. There's a lot happening, and I think the story just works well with the politics involved in this. So another 1,000 star systems, or whatever, ready to leave and join. Like there's a lot happening behind the scenes where whether the Emperor or Palpatine was fully aware of a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff happening that it could have went off the rails. When you think about it, and this is why I love the politics of Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that round table, but I forget his name.
There was Sid Hill?
The Banking Clan. That's Banking Clan guy. Yeah.
Techno Union Army.
Techno Union Army. Yeah.
Well,
This guy was Techno Union.
To Cole's point too, yeah, it's like what he just said proves that these movies aren't just all flash and bang and shock and awe. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just lightsaber duels and cool ships and whatnot that got people into it. Like, there's deeper story here, and it's good storytelling and well done. And that you gotta have a mix of both. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna make a epic fucking tale like Star Wars, there's gotta be more meat to it than just your general shock and awe. Like, don't get me wrong, that's great. Like we said, the battles and the lightsaber duels and the ship battles and all that. That all that is fucking awesome. But you gotta have meat to it. That's
Yeah.
all that's glaze. That's the surface level. You know what I mean? You gotta have meat to it.
I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling through. I'm trying to find that picture that Cole was talking
Some of those
about.
designs too, like that guy from the Techno Union Army,
Yeah.
the representative there. That's, they knew how to design stuff to make it look otherworldly and really cool. Can you point to one design from the sequel trilogy that is anywhere near as cool as even just that one guy?
Yeah.
Probably not.
And you remember why? Okay, so you probably know this,
Dexter,
Darth,
yeah.
but you remember why there was more? They put in more blacks, more Asians, or whatever in the sequel trilogies. And what was missing in the sequel trilogies?
Yeah, the good alien designs for one.
Alien designs. They basically cut out alien designs because that's what Star Wars was known about. From opening scene in the Cantina bar to Empire Strikes Back, being on Dagobah, being on Hoth, meeting up, and then when you go to the prequels, aliens are everywhere. The sequels, you know what? We're not gonna have aliens. We're gonna have more minorities, more of this, more of that. That's the thing you notice when it comes to the sequels and the prequels and the OT.
Well, at
Those
least
were
we
the
got
movies
Rose
that they
Tico,
had,
didn't
though.
we?
Yeah. Someone named Rose in Star Wars.
The aliens they had were illegal aliens.
Yeah.
I still have it's back in my parents' house in New York, but it's a thick book, like the art and conception of Attack of the Clones, and it went through all the artwork that they did from start to finish, deleted stuff that they had in there, characters they were going to use, weren't going to use. Asajj Ventress was designed for this movie, but it got scrapped, and so there's a whole chapter on that. So I was glad to see that. The script is in the back of it, so you can read that whole thing. The speeder bike chase and the battle, the clone battle, where that was cut. There's so many cool things in there. I got to bring it back home when I go up next.
Well,
Really cool when
Spider.
you see, like, from design. That's it. That's the one.
Oh,
Hold on.
yes.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yep. I have mine is the Attack of the Clones one.
Yeah. I got
Exact
Attack of the
same.
Clones somewhere. But this book is fantastic. Just all of the artwork, especially Padme. They do the test shots with Padme in her different outfits. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that book just because of the artwork.
And there's a question in chat for Colhauser from Graham Robbins.
What do you mean masculinity? No, she didn't.
And just these creatures alone in the arena, like, you felt the intensity of each of them had their own personality.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This guy was the crazy, psychotic one that wouldn't stop at anything. Where I forget the names of them specifically. He was cool, calculating. Wasn't just going to go right in. He'd take his shots. This was the bull, obviously, that would be methodical. Even the creatures had personalities. The ones that
Yeah, they were cool.
What did we get in the sequels? We got a kid with a broom.
Oh, yeah. I'd almost scrubbed that from my memory. Thanks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like I
nothing
love
like one of our. It's nothing like one of our streams to bring back the trauma for you, Darth.
I like the communals. I thought they were done fine.
Yeah, they're like very calculating. Trying to compare them, like
Interesting design, you know, long necks, long arms,
Yeah.
long bodies. You know, they almost flowed as they walked, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like not just different designs, but every alien design had its sort of own look and its own way of walking, its own technology. You know, if you see the different aliens in the different movies, right? What do they have? Oh, these guys are this, and they have this sort of thing, and oh, these guys are like this, and this is what their technology looks like, right? And I don't know, I think you can look at them and sort of see and understand what they were and what they did and what their place in the universe was.
Like each one of Lucas's movies, every movie you can define a place that they go to that sticks out, or creatures that show up that are new in each movie.
But you know what else? You know what else, Spider, too? I love the fact that these Camino was like hidden. Nobody knew where it was. It was this planet that was hiding, and nobody, you know, it was just like, oh, where's this place called Camino? Well, it's in the Reese maze somewhere. Like, I like that aspect of it. Of some of the story. Sorry?
We thought you weren't coming.
Yeah.
After all these years.
Well, but you know what? And you think about that line. There was more at play in like I said, in the political aspect is like, okay, I'm here. What did Obi-Wan's like thinking, what did I walk into?
Yeah.
Once they said, like, I didn't think you were coming. Well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. He solves the mystery of where the planet is, and then it's like, oh, now there's a deeper mystery of what's going on here that he has to dig into, right?
And doesn't Dexter say, like, oh, these Kaminoans, they keep to themselves, like, really tight knit.
They're cloners, you see.
Good ones.
And this is storytelling. You're getting actual storytelling, you know.
They're not getting actual fucking storytelling. Wild concept, I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Imagine.
And for those of you who don't know, this quick shot of the guy in the bar is the real Jar Jar Binks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm my best.
You got George's daughter on the left there.
Yep.
The pink one.
Yep.
I think Anthony Daniels is in one of these shots.
He's in there too, wearing a similar outfit to Ahmed Best there.
Let's see.
I bet those were some wild parties, especially in costume.
You know what I'd like to touch on too? Like, I notice a lot of times, and I've said it too, we keep saying for its time. But you know what? The fucking CGI in these movies blows the fucking doors off of the shit we getting now. It's not even a for its time. It's not even a for its time issue. You know what I mean? Like the fucking CGI we got in this movie specifically would blow the doors off of like 90% of the shit we get now, or more. It's fucking wild to see. It really is.
That's what I'm saying. For all the technology we have, we just don't have talented people using it. You still have to have talent and creativity.
Yep.
Well, it's like
Ray
this
said
scene
in
and
the
shot right here.
Chat earlier. It's almost as if they cared about what they were doing, you know?
Exactly.
Most. Yeah.
This scene and shot right here, when they come out and it landscapes and pans the whole arena like that. I mean, that's not easy because you got to get everybody in there and everything. But then you put that, how you direct it, and then the people that put that together, and then John Williams' score of Across the Stars hitting across that as they're coming out. It's tragic. it's just amazing how that works, and nobody can replicate that. Seriously.
Well, the problem is most of the people that have worked on these films have either aged out and retired or passed away. So they took the technology, they took the talent and the creativity of how they did it with them.
Yeah, I know. I know. Donna had brought that up before. Is that the stuff is lost? Like a lot of the talent is lost, and through sheer fucking hubris, most of the time, like, oh, we got all this new tech now. We don't need your way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're fucking to a point where everybody's scrambling, like, oh my god, how the fuck did they do this? And like Donna said, they either fucked off or they died, and it's gone. You're not getting it fucking back.
The brain drain is real, and it's even if you look at Pixar, even as soon as they shit can John Lasseter for no reason, suddenly these films just got worse and worse, you know. And I mean, I don't think there's any comparison to Lasseter's work at Pixar with anything that's come out lately. It's not even close.
Was he the hugger or the one who dropped the dick joke at the party? Gary talks about
He was the guy who occasionally he got in people's faces when they weren't getting their work done, and then at parties he liked to, you know, treat everybody well and occasionally hug people. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But nothing untoward, like not really was like what they actually got him out for was some dumb shit.
Yeah. It was nothing untoward really at all. Like you would these days, you'd look at that and go, really, that happened for that? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even going back to this, like the scale of the battle, doing every clone individually and to make it flow correctly.
That one scene, was it fucking Dooku in the ship, and it was a cool ass looking ship, got like a cloaking on it, and had like looked like a parachute out front, but it was actually
the Solar Sailor. Yeah,
that was fucking cool, bro.
I had that
like I rewinded it at just to rewatch it like a few fucking times. That was fucking dope.
Am I gonna have to buy you a Solar Sailor for your birthday?
Hey, listen, I'm not saying no. Do we have one in the collection, Cole? For those of you who don't know, I live my collector life vicariously through Colhauser. So, Cole, do we have one in our collection?
No.
Oh,
see,
wow.
There we go. That's on the list, man. What is it
I
called?
don't collect a whole lot of Star Wars.
Solar Sailor.
Yeah, it's all good, Cole. Sal's gonna get us one. He just said he is online. We haven't recorded.
Nice.
Oh, I guess everybody's getting a Solar Sailor.
You get one. You get one. Everybody gets one.
I want, what's his name, the creamish pants. I'm trying to find a picture of it.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
I only collected the Gentle Giant statues of Star Wars.
Yeah, there it is. See, that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is dope as fuck, boys.
We're gonna have to build one for you. This way they get you to the States.
Hell yeah.
Trying to find it.
Do they have one?
Oh, it's gotta be. I'm gonna.
Oh,
Solar Sailor boy. Ooh. You want a micro machine?
You don't know.
yeah. Listen, bro. I'm taking what you offering, homeboy.
All right, so used.
He wants whatever shows up in the mailbox.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, now that I know that.
Hey, don't go cheap on me, Sal.
No. There may be alternate toys in there too.
That can't be real. Count Dooku Solar Sailor, $2
What?
at Game Shop of Destiny.
Located in Oahu.
Can't Dooku Solar Sailor Rare, $1.35 at lasergamingshop.com. I guess he is going to go cheap on you.
Not by choice.
You break my heart, Sal. Breaking my heart.
If I remember correctly, Darth, correct me if I'm wrong. Like the Lego itself, like it gave you like the 4 like plastic flaps that you would have to like insert into the front of it.
I thought it was something like that. Yeah, I never had it
like
myself.
Fold it
but
in
was,
and it would like snap in or
Yeah.
something.
they were
Wow.
sort of.
There's one for 99 cents.
Yeah, I never had the set. The set was pretty awesome though, and they never made a Hasbro 3 3/4 inch version of this ship because it would have had to have been just gigantic, right? The sail itself would have to be this big around. But
Where's the toys I gotta buy? Fuck,
Okay,
I'm
now
clicking
there's
my-
a Lego one.
That's the one I had, yeah.
Oh, okay. The Lego one, $35.58 at AliExpress.
Why so cheap?
That's not too bad.
If I can't get you the Solar Sailor toy, I'll get you. I'll figure something. I'll get you something. I'll draw you a Solar Sailor.
There you go, Beast. I sent him the link.
Yeah, buddy.
You'd be the coolest boy in Oahu.
I know what Tate's getting him for his birthday.
I can only imagine.
Still waiting on my apple pie, Don. I'm just saying.
You want me to FedEx it? I don't think the crumble top, the streusel top probably won't hold up very well. You know, just for that, I'm going to find a bakery around there, and I'm going to FedEx you a freaking pie.
So apparently they make a Lego one. It's like 6,000 pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were looking at the Lego one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I like Lego. Sal, you listening?
No, I'm sorry. You're cutting out.
Oh, man. What a time for my internet to start acting up.
Woo.
Hawaiian internet.
I think that's the link that I sent him was the Lego one.
Oh, you do text?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think it was 385 pieces, though. It's just a sailor. I don't think Beast needs any planets or anything to go with it. Just the ship.
Now, if you get it, you have to build it on camera.
Oh, that's true.
Hey,
That'll be a
listen, Donna.
stream.
Donna, let's not limit Sal's kindness, okay? Let him give what he wants. All right, y'all. It is getting to be that time. I got a bill. If y'all want to keep going, what y'all feeling? You think we closing it out right now? Y'all good with ending it, or you guys want to keep going?
we can shut it down if you want.
Yeah, I
gotta go to
got
sleep.
I got stuff I got to do, so I'm gonna have to bail.
All right. Let's hit these outros, starting with the guest, Mr. Colhauser. Where you at? What you doing, my brother?
I am just doing some gaming. That's about it. I got a couple of toy streams coming up, and then just getting ready for a couple of cons we have going on here, and that's about it.
All right, Mr. Darth Jaeger. What you up to, brother?
Well, I am on Chilled Monkey Brains with a Z on on both Rumble and YouTube. And I just dropped another Star Trek 60th anniversary video on Monday. I'll be doing 2 this month. I'll be appearing on the internet in various places as well since then.
Yeah. Hey, man, I just want to thank y'all for coming on. Oh,
Yeah,
what's up,
quickly,
Colhauser?
I just want to mention because so we're actually, me, Darth, and probably Jose Taco, we're actually talking about doing a Robotech stream. So that's we're still working out some we're working on that, and but yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Fucking A, bro. Love to see it. Like I was saying, thanks again, gentlemen, for coming on. Always a pleasure having y'all on, man. And let's Miss Donna Doc, what we got coming up, sis?
Tomorrow is our roundtable with Deborah Perkins. The 7th, in theory, is going to be Revenge of the Sith, if everybody's schedule is still good for it.
That's June 7th.
I'm there.
Yep, this Sunday.
Yep.
Yep, Darth.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, the 7th we're doing Revenge of the Sith, and then we're wrapping up the whole Star Wars thing with a tier of the only 6 existing Star Wars movies on the 8th, and we're also going to do Spaceballs just for fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mr. Spider, what's up, guy?
Yeah. Again, I'm excited to be talking about Revenge of the Sith for the Sunday Saloon this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. These fine gentlemen will be back. And yeah, tomorrow is the Thursday roundtable with special guests Deborah Perkins and Graham and Amy.
Mm-hmm. And Giles.
Yeah.
Is Giles going to be there?
Is he back?
No, Giles is. I'm not sure if Giles is back yet.
He may
Giles
or may not
may
be
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sheriff may or may not be there tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow.
When the sheriff is away, the Outlaws play.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm Beastman, bro. Find me over at Ocean Man Productions. I've been kind of slow rolling the rollout of my art stuff over there on Ocean Man Productions because of stuff going on X, kind of similar to stuff that was going on YouTube. A lot of bannings and stuff. So go and give me a follow over there. It'll start picking up real soon. Tell the ones you love that you love them. And as always, remain blessed. We out of here, y'all.